Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Mike Jorgensen and welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on how to boost your immunity naturally. I thought this would be a wonderful topic now, especially in the kind of the days we've had here, the last year we've had with the COVID threat. I thought there was not enough emphasis on things that people could do themselves to, again, improve their immunity naturally. Let's go ahead and get into this presentation. Like I said, I'm Dr. Michael Jorgensen. I am a chiropractor in Fargo. This is my 32nd year of chiropractic practice. I am a second-generation chiropractor. My father, Dr. Bill Jorgensen, practiced here in Fargo from 1976 till 1994. I am a certified chiropractic wellness practitioner. One of the things that really motivated me was the tragic early passing of my parents. My mother at 52 from a brain tumor, and my dad from 54 from congestive heart failure. My dad was a chiropractor, but at the same time he was kind of done in by his own poor lifestyle choices, which really made me pursue and have a passion for wellness, how to be healthier naturally. I'm also a certified posture expert. We are really in trouble with our culture, with so many things threatening our posture, especially these phones. And all the things that can happen. I'm also have a passion for occupational health. I believe that which is one of the reasons I'm grateful for you seeing this. I really believe that our employers can have the biggest impact on our culture by promoting topics like this. Some of the goals of this presentation, I want to help teach you and share with you what I've come to understand are the things that weaken our immunity. At the same time, also, I want to empower you with information about things that you can do for you and your family to strengthen your immunity naturally. There's plenty of things that can be done. I want to help empower you with this information. Because there's a lot of fear out there with this COVID. There's just a lot of fear that's being put out in the media. I want to help empower people so that you can have scientific understanding of the things that make your body stronger, healthier, and more resistant to any kind of viruses, any kind of pathogen, bacteria, fungus, you name it, and that'll help you be more confident in today's world. Here's a fact. Humans are, number one, the most intelligent species on the planet, while at the same time, human beings are the sickest species on the planet. We have more increased cancer rates, heart disease rates, diabetes, obesity, and some things even, especially in the last 20, 30, 40 years, neurological disorders such as dementia and Alzheimer's, and every one of these illnesses is really breaking our healthcare bank. And it's leading to just unbelievably high mortality rates, and also the treatment costs are burdening our hospitals, our whole healthcare system. We're paying through the nose for this. So some of the main causes, it really can come down to several things. We have radically changed what we eat, how much we eat, how much we move, how little we move, how we work, our stress levels, what we consume, and the toxins that we are exposed to in our environment. We have radically changed. If you go even 50 years ago, how things have changed in our culture, it has really had an impact, direct impact on our health and the prevalence of illness. So some simple things about our immune system. Our immune system is simply, the strength of our immune system is a reflection of our overall health. So if we strengthen our health, we will strengthen our immune system. It's that simple, but it's not easy. It's not always easy. We have a lot of things that are pushing against us in our culture. That's what we want to address. So there's three overall principles of health and wellness: how we think, how we eat, and how we move. So one of the things we talk about or promote is, hey, think well, eat well, and move well. They all are the pillars of wellness. So we just don't get a lot of instruction on that. We're going to do that here in this talk. So, fact, a healthy body provides an inhospitable environment for pathogens, for bacteria, for viruses. The healthier we are, the more resistant our body is to these foreign agents, these things that we can't see, we can't smell, we don't know, but They're all around us. They're all around us on a daily basis. So just as a healthy body is very inhospitable, a weakened, sickened body provides an opportunity for these nasty critters to get a foothold and sometimes overwhelm the individual, occasionally leading to a tragic premature death like we're currently seeing. We just have to look no further than our nursing home population. Take a look at some of the things that our nursing home population has in common. They're elderly, almost always. They are frequently bedridden. They are on oftentimes multiple medications dealing with multiple illnesses. And so they are very in a weakened state. They are not getting outside, fresh air, sunshine, exercise. Again, they're our most vulnerable. So if those people are the most vulnerable, if we conversely shift to, let's say, children and people who are active, whatnot, they are the most resistant to illnesses, especially even this the COVID-19. So what we need to do is just simply apply some common sense and some logic, learn the things that we need to do more of, and understand the things that we do need to do less of. Let's talk about thinking well. So worry, pessimism, and fear literally weaken our immune system. Our body goes into kind of a retreat mentality. So this is why we want to combat this with wisdom and knowledge and optimism that improved lifestyle choices will do, and that will strengthen our immunity. We want to get away from fear and pessimism, things that we can't even control, and focus on the positive things. Great thing to do is to start with gratitude. How many of us wake up in the morning with gratitude as the first thought to our mind? Sadly, we can have thoughts of fear and apprehension and worry and what's going to go on today, what happened yesterday. These things are not how we want to start our day off. So it's important, and it takes energy, it takes effort to be grateful for the things. Americans, we are truly have plenty to be grateful for. We're blessed in so many ways. We enjoy a very, very high standard of living. You compare it to the billions of people around our planet. We have running water. We have we're a roof over our heads. Oftentimes we have an abundance of food in our refrigerator. We've got a warm bed. We've got so many things we've got transportation. We've got multiple TVs. We enjoy a pretty high standard of living. So it's a great thing to start with gratitude. And our thought life is something that we really need to focus on what's going on between our ears. Some of the things that also to look at and limit are, what are some of the negative things? What are the negative sources of an input into our mind? We can look at social media. That can be a very negative source. Turning on the morning news, boy, that can be sometimes start us off on the wrong foot. It's really important, ladies and gentlemen, that we be aware of the sources of media that we are consuming in the morning. We want to limit those. We want to be aware of what they are and choose to avoid those and start feeding our mind positive things that empower us, whether it be if you're a person of faith, spending some time in the morning, just taking some time in general to, again, review some of the things that you can be grateful for. A good friend of mine says it's time to pull the weeds and plant the seeds. Let's plant the seeds of some positive things. Also taking time during the day. There are some great apps that are out there. Calm and Abide are two of the ones that come to my mind that offer us an opportunity to take a mental timeout, to just calm down, put the rest of the world on a timeout, and just take some time to indulge in just doing some positive thinking, listening to some encouraging, uplifting messages. So controlling our thought life is where we start first. This is true. We can't change our past, but we can change our future. There's no reason to dwell on past regrets, guilt, things that we have no control over, that we cannot change. It's easy for us to get caught up in negative thinking of things that happened 20, 30 years ago. We can absolutely have no power to change that. So it's really critical that we look at our thoughts and stop that. The only thing that we can change is right now, and we can have a positive impact on the future. And that's really what I encourage you all to think about that. And oftentimes we don't change though until the pain of staying the same exceeds that of changing. And we may need to come up with some and use our imagination to overcome some of the bad habits, the bad thought life, the rumination that we sometimes get caught up into, and really imagine what will our future look like if we don't change our current path. It's not always in life of where we're at, but where we're heading. We're all, I'm sure, can think of things that we would rather have changed different in our past, but we can't do that. So what a good recommendation I would encourage you to is to think about where you want to go in the future. What is going to create a better future for you? What needs to change? And also, challenge yourself. If you don't change, where are you going to be in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, if you continue on the current trajectory? I don't care if whether it's your current health, your exercise routine, your current, are you carrying more weight than you are? Are you a smoker right now? Are you someone who worries a lot? How can you change those things directly? Get some help. Therein lies really the power for having a brighter future, and that should give you some hope that you can have a better future by making some choices. So we talked about thinking well. Let's talk about eating well. There are a ton of bad choices that are in our environment, and sadly, they're the most readily available and easiest to consume. Some of the biggest threats right now, we're realizing that wheat products don't always have are not always the best things for our bodies. You've heard of gluten and people who are gluten intolerant. Gluten is actually two proteins together that is found in wheat that can cause significant damage to our intestinal lining. It has some very, very damaging things. Some people are more susceptible than others with gluten. Let's talk about, you may want to, again, educate yourself on that. Processed foods. These processed foods are loaded oftentimes with more sugar than we should have, preservatives, chemicals, artificial sweeteners, these types of things, often found in the middle of the grocery store. That's why it's really wise to stay shopping for the majority of your grocery shopping on the outside of the grocery store. Sugar. Here we are in the Red River Valley. We generally consume, it's been averaged out about 160 pounds of sugar per year, way more than is good for us. I have a sweet tooth like probably a lot of people do, but it is important to really be aware of the amount of sugar we are consuming. It generally moves us towards all the wrong types of chemical processes and all the wrong types of reactions of our body, including storing fat. Something that may shock some of you, but that too much dairy can be bad for us, can be harmful for us. Allergies and different things that our body will respond to can sometimes be found in dairy products. There can be growth hormones, there can be antibiotics that are used in dairy products that can really disagree with our overall health. That's something to consider. And lastly, I'll just talk about deep fried foods. Deep fried foods really have all kinds of hazards to them, including something called trans fats, which can really lead to all kinds of inflammation, excessive fat that can really be harmful for us. So it's important to watch out for the French fries, the deep fried stuff, the greasier foods. That is something you can try to limit and start to avoid more of. Some easy chemicals to talk about that would do well to avoid. Of course, nicotine from cigarette smoking. Nobody needs a big wake-up call on that. That cigarette smoking has many harmful chemicals in us that are harmful to our body. Artificial sweeteners. Sorry, diet pop lovers, but some of the artificial sweeteners, aspartame, NutraSweet, these types of things are not going to be healthy for us. In fact, a recent conference that I was at said that having a diet soda was almost like getting a chemical concussion to your own brain. So if you can avoid that and stick with water or flavored waters or something bubbly to satisfy that is way better choice than a diet soda. Preservatives, food colorings, just a general rule of thumb, the more natural foods we consume, the better off we are. Something a lot of people don't really consider next is what we clean our homes and our environment, maybe even our businesses, a lot of things that are in the cleaning product category bleach is a very, very toxic chemical. Lysol, some of the harsh chemicals that are used, some of the acids used to clean. If you can look towards natural alternatives for these products, and there are companies out there that make plenty of natural cleaners. If you have any questions, you can email me, drmike@redriverwellness.com. I have some suggestions for you that you may want to pursue. So too harmful of chemicals in our home for cleaning agents are good things to minimize as well. So very simply, a proper diet is going to enhance our immunity, where a poor diet is going to impair our immunity. Let's talk about some of the things that we should be eating. So a few years ago, a study came out and said that it's called a Paleo-Mediterranean style diet has been found to be the healthiest. Well, what does that look like? Lean proteins, with not a lot of fat on it. Ideally, grass-fed sources of protein, beef, poultry. Again, more natural that you lean towards is going to be better. Wild fish, salmon. Wild salmon is a great source of so many different healthy things, including omega-3 fatty acids. Sadly, if you went to a restaurant and the special is salmon, it's probably going to be what's called a farm-raised fish, something you really want to avoid because of the chemicals that accumulate in those farm-raised, a very unnatural fish source. Abundant vegetables. Vegetables are just miraculous in what they can do. They are very alkalizing and cleansing to the human body. Some of your broccolis, cauliflowers, steaming your vegetables using some butter on those and salting. There's a lot of recipes. Thank goodness for the internet and some of the things that you can do to learn how to prepare some of these vegetables. Nuts and seeds for snacking are also important. They give a lot of fiber and roughage into our digestive system, which can help move things along in our digestive tract. Believe it or not, dark chocolate, yes, you've heard that it is good for you. Organic would be the best source. I've not found a good source myself here locally. It's probably because I haven't pursued it enough, but the more dark chocolate you can, that's organically raised, would be even healthier for you, a good snack. Plenty of water. I go about 220 pounds. About half of my weight, so 110 ounces of water per day, is recommended to keep everything, again, alkalized in our body. Some things that also bone broth from chicken soup. Bone broth has some very, very healthy benefits, very immune boosting. So grandma's or mom's chicken soup is something that has some validity to it. So let's talk about some healthy fats. Extra virgin olive oil and avocado are very, very helpful. They're healthy fats that our body really requires. Those are some suggestions there. Here's something you may want to look into. Back in March, I watched a webinar, and the presenter I have a lot of respect for talked about looking into something called intermittent fasting, or another name would be time-restricted eating, where you pick a 6 to 8 hour or something like that window that you consume your calories in. And something that I've done following that is I basically skip my breakfast meal, instead just continue drinking water, and I'll have coffee with, let's say, a heavy whipping cream for a creamer in the morning, and then start my consumption of food around my lunchtime. Do that, and then my evening dinner or supper. And after that, 6 to 7, 8 hour time period, then I won't eat again till the following noon. That has helped me a lot. It's been really helpful in resetting my blood sugar system. I've lost a few pounds of unwanted flab around my midsection, which is always welcome. It allows this downtime of eating, this extended period, allows our body to clean itself up, take out the trash, so to speak, repair itself, allows our blood sugar system to reset itself. And during that time when you're eating, of course, you would want to follow that Paleo-Mediterranean style diet, which it's low on sugar, low on carbohydrates, and that's gonna, I think, serve you very, very well. If you have any kind of questions, a dietitian would be someone good to consult. If you are have someone who has a blood sugar regulation problem like diabetic, again, a dietitian would be one you'd want to talk with first, or your physician. Sadly, a lot of our medical physicians don't have a lot of training in nutrition. That may come as a shock, but there really is they don't have the training unless they specifically go after it. So those are some suggestions you can look at. How about taking care of your home? Keeping the humidity levels up at home is a very, very good thing. It keeps our mucous membranes moist. When we're talking about our heating, furnaces coming on, electric baseboard heat can sometimes be very, very dry. You want to really get a humidifier in your home to keep that humidity, make sure above 30%, to keep those mucous membranes moist, so they can fight effectively any type of allergens, illnesses, bacteria, and this type of thing. Another suggestion: don't wear your shoes inside your house on your floors. They're going to definitely have oils from the street, unnecessary germs, pathogens, and try to keep a window cracked year-round to allow for some fresh air to come in, even when it's 20 below outside. I know it's a little bit difficult, but do your best to keep circulate fresh air in the home. Let's talk about some things you can supplement with. Number one, a great multivitamin. I take a liquid multivitamin called Intramax. It's got like 400 different nutrients in there, including about 70 trace minerals that are very, very excellent. Again, if you want more information on that, feel free to email me. The immunoregulator of the body is vitamin D. It is critical in so many things in keeping our immune system strong. We're finding out now, more and more studies, that like 80 to 90% of the people who have come down with COVID have deficient vitamin D levels. So the recommendation I've heard is anywhere from 5 to 7,000 international units of vitamin D per day. It's very easy to get that. I have a dropper. There's a liquid that I'll put a couple drops on my tongue, which will give me the amount. You can get that in gel caps. There's a number of different ways to get healthy vitamin D. A good idea probably is to get checked if your levels of vitamin D. That is something that makes sense as well. Omega-3 fatty acids, or fish oil. Fish oil is probably, I believe it's been found to be the best source of omega-3 fatty acids. 1,500 to 3,000 milligrams. That translates into 1.5 to 3 grams. And again, I take actually a liquid fish oil myself, but you can get it in a gel cap. And something else that we've learned, of course, vitamin C has always been known to be a great immune system booster. 1.5 milligram standard baseline. Gut health. Many of you have heard through advertisements about the importance of a probiotic. You've seen that on the news. A healthy digestive system, or what we call a healthy gut, is really important and critical for our immune system. It's the foundation of our immune system. So a good probiotic, which is healthy bacteria, to help repopulate our digestive system, is very, very important. And then zinc citrate is something else that has been shown to be a very, very strong immune booster. Moving on, so like I just mentioned, healthy immunity is healthy gut health. You've been using something since 2004 from a wonderful company called Erchonia. They make something called a cold laser. This cold laser is something that can stimulate improved gut health. It can shut down inflammation. It has a very, very healthy effect on the neurology that goes and helps control the gut itself. It's a special laser. You can again shoot me questions if you have anything about that. But this very special laser that I have, it's a laser light emitting handheld device. It has been proven to be antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal, shown to destroy Staphylococcal aureus bacteria. It helps reset the neurological tone of the gut through one of the very important cranial nerves called the vagus nerve, and it just has a lot of good anti-inflammatory effects on the gut. That's another secret weapon that I'll use with my patients. Let's talk about moving well. Being active has so many benefits. I could put a whole seminar on about just all the benefits of being active. Tragically, most people's work is in front of computers. They are cooped up. They are sitting in front of computers all day, or at home now, of course, with a lot of distance work and whatnot. So they're cooped up at home, sitting in front of computers. It is not what our bodies were designed to do. Our bodies were designed to be dynamic and move. So moving well is critically. So one of the first things I think if you're not don't have a regular time that you exercise during the week, I would say sit down and carve out 2 to 3 days, at least 2 to 3 days a week, and schedule a 1 hour time each of those 3 days, and what you're going to commit to getting up, starting off slow with stretching, doing some warm-up exercises. There's apps, the internet is just loaded with all kinds of things that you can start to do. Ideally, a personal trainer or somebody that you could talk to just to get some coaching. But I tell you what, the first thing to do is you have to make the time for exercise, because the benefits are just incredible. So warm-up time, posture strengthening, strength training itself, where you really challenge your muscles, and some time for aerobic exercise. Of course, a good healthy walk is helpful, but there's some things that will really boost your health quality that you can talk to a trainer about and get some help. Again, there's an abundance of help online and with apps these days. So some of the things that keep people from moving well is pain, sore joints, sore knees, sore hips, sore back. Like 80% of the population has back pain at some time, which can keep them or discourage a person from being active and wanting to exercise. Well, if you have a situation where you are in pain, I'm going to strongly recommend you as a chiropractor to get it checked out by a trained professional. Of course, I'm a chiropractic advocate, so if you don't have a chiropractor, I would highly recommend you look into getting one, and get one from a personal referral from a friend or a coworker. Or if you have any questions, if I can be of any help in that area, really reach out, because chiropractic offers conservative treatment for things such as low back pain, headache pain, neck pain, shoulder, hip, to help find the cause of those problems. And some of the things we can identify in a very quick screening is by looking at your posture, looking at leg length imbalances, looking at weaknesses in our core musculature. We can pick up red flags that are maybe the source of some of these pain conditions that you may be having, that may be keeping and holding you back from the active, engaged lifestyle that your body really demands. So that's something to look into. One of the things we offer as we're wrapping up here is an opportunity to get a spinal stress and posture screening that we offer in our office. We have people come in, they fill out a questionnaire, either in person, or we can even email it to you, that will help you kind of just identify some of the things that may be bothering you, and we can get that feedback, that information from you. Then we do a private consultation with our patients. It takes about anywhere 15 to 20 minutes to do that, and it's time for my patient and myself to sit down and talk about their maybe past traumas, some of the things that they're doing in their current lifestyle with their work. We can help maybe uncover some of the things that may have started these problems, and really dig in to find out what's going on. And for people who have attended this webinar, this PowerPoint presentation, we're going to do a special extension for you. You would just want to mention this to do that spinal stress and posture screening consultation for $40. We want to make it extremely affordable, so there are no barriers, or it's a very low barrier to really find out more about what may be causing aches and pains that may be slowing you down and keeping you from moving the way you want to move in your lifestyle, to have great health right now and also in the future. I want to thank you for your time and attention, and taking 30 minutes or however long it was out of your day to learn more about how you can boost your immunity. Our whole health and our whole life is really founded on how healthy we are. I hope that this information has been inspiring to you, and it may be been curious for you, and maybe hope that you will choose to take some action into your future. Only you can do it. You are the only person that can make the better change for your health. And I hope some of this information has been helpful, whether it's taking more vitamin D or maybe scheduling some time to go out and walk or to be grateful and to be thinking better. I hope it's inspired you and been of some service to you. If you have any questions, you feel free to email me at the email address on the screen. If you have a question of me personally, you can take the opportunity to give our office a call, or if you would like to schedule that posture screening, and you can welcome to do that at the number on the screen. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope this day finds you well and with optimism for the future. God bless. Have a great day.